Hey, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Carol Lee, and I'm here to talk to you about those of you who are feeling stuck in a situation. It could be a relationship that you're in that feels unhealthy, and you've tried everything and you don't know what to do anymore. You don't feel like you can leave. You have children, maybe, or financial reasons that are connecting you. Maybe it's a job that you have that you feel like it's sucking your soul and it takes all you have to get there every day. Could be your living situation, roommates, maybe you live with your parents. Any one of these situations where you feel so stuck and don't know how to get out of it. I get it. I've been in all of those situations, and I was raised in a household with a mentally ill mother and a mentally ill sister. My mom had schizophrenia and my sister was bipolar. I felt very trapped in that situation. They were very narcissistic people. Um, I went and lived with my grandma as soon as I could when I turned 16 to get out of the situation. Um, I was basically living an invisible existence at that house. Two very selfish women where um, they would actually, I would tell stories and then they would replace them as if they were their own. It was just a very bizarre situation to be in. As you can imagine, it makes you feel invisible, isolated, uncertain. And as you can imagine, this translated into my future relationships. I ended up marrying someone who was extremely narcissistic, very selfish, very self centered, didn't want to help out in the situation in any way. He pretty much just played video games. The beginning of our relationship, I was the sole financial provider. Um, he did start putting forth effort after several years. We had children together, and I felt obligated to stay with this man and provide my children a household. Um, I felt stuck financially. I felt stuck in the relationship. But what I want you to understand is even though you're there right now, there are things that you can do now to make your situation different. And this is what I did. When I was in this relationship, I had this aha moment where I understood if I wanted to make any changes in my life, it started with me, and no one was coming to rescue me, and I had to do it on my own. So, what I began to do is really take a look at myself, where I wanted to be, and where I was at. So that's the very first thing I want you to do is examine your situation and write down your ideal situation and what that looks like to you. Mine for me is at the time I really wanted to be in a fulfilling relationship with a partner who was putting in effort, who was supportive and who would listen to me, honest and had high values. But another thing is I wasn't there yet. I wasn't that person. So I had to build myself to become that person. And how I did that is I really began assessing my values and how how important honesty was to me and loyalty, and I really began working on my communication skills why I was in this marriage with this person who was very difficult to talk to. And I chose at that time, and not every person can do this in their situations, but for me, I chose to begin working on my communication skills why I was with this person, regardless of how he responded. For me, it really gave me insight. I began listening anytime he would talk, really understanding to come from a place of curiosity. Uh, it really was helpful to me to begin working on who I wanted to be. And I really became this person who was able to trust myself. And how I did that is I was very honest with myself. And if I said I was going to do something, I showed up and did it. And if I failed, I did not let that deter me in any way. I started all over again. And I wouldn't even say it was starting it all over again. I just would continue and get back up on that horse to ride it again because I knew that that was the way it was going to propel me into another direction. So, number one, really look at where you want to be in your ideal situation and write down maybe things you need to work on to be that person. Um, Write the end and things it would take you to travel to get there. And understand that it's okay to be in your situation right now and just start working on yourself now. Number two is working out and exercising. This is very empowering. It will show you things that you're capable of that you didn't realize. I initially started my fitness as a runner. And believe me, I never thought I would be able to run in my life. I was the person that failed PE in high school. And I just started 1 minute at a time. And that's what you need to do is just start. And you aren't going to be a professional runner the day you start. You're not going to be a professional athlete the day you start. You have to put in your reps and really hone these skills and get good at it. But I started running 5 minutes and resting 1 minute. But the thing is I say running and it was more likely jogging. I just would go 30 seconds longer. So one day I went 5 minutes. The next day I went 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Whatever that is for you, you can start at 1 minute and then walk 30 minutes and progress 1 minute and 30 seconds the next day. Just keep progressing. But there is something that this gives you that can't be bought. There is no pill that can replace what value this instills in you when you see what you are capable of and what you are capable of accomplishing. Because I promise you, the resilience, the strength, the discipline is there. You just need to hone in on it. So, number three is nutrition. And the reason why I say this is because I have learned for myself when I am eating sugar, drinking soda, or processed foods, there is this cloudiness in my brain. My body isn't functioning to its full capacity. I'm not able to make full decisions because it's almost as if like I'm constantly in this food hangover. I really started out dieting and I didn't understand that this was really a lifestyle because I would do what we call yo-yo dieting. And I think at this time, the popular diets were Atkins, Mediterranean diet, but I would do them and then I would lose the weight, quit, and it would come back on. And I finally figured out for me that this was a lifestyle change, that for me to become this person that I was working on being, I had to change my lifestyle. So for me, and not everybody is this way, we're all different with our nutrition, is I went 2 years without having cheat meals. And I would have them on occasion, but just not on a regular basis. And I really would have to evaluate, like maybe Christmas or Thanksgiving. And it would depend also on my mindset at the time. I might evaluate that, I'm kind of not in the best headspace right now, so I'm not going to choose to cheat this Christmas. So it's really about getting to know you and evaluating those things for you. But the place where I really have found where I am in my highest energy and my best mindset is when I am eating very high protein, lean meats, vegetables, fruits, and, very little carbs, oatmeal, quinoa, things like that, some rice, but not a lot. And I I now am capable of having cheat meals, but I have rules where I don't double up. And the reason why is because I truly believe, for me and for several people I know, that when you start to have these carbs, let's use chips as an example, your mind immediately goes to give me more, more, more. I want more. And I I believe there's something to that. I believe that that is why it is so hard to quit eating this way, because your body is immediately telling you, oh, I have to have more than that. So I find, for me, if I just do the one cheat meal, which my cheat meals are very limited nowadays, they're not too erratic, but I do not double up rule. So we have, what do you want? Where do you want to be? Exercise, nutrition. Number 4 is sleep. And oh my God, I get this one. Holy fuck. When I was at my busiest, working 40 hours a week, raising children, being a part-time personal trainer, add school on top of that, I I was that person that loved to stay up late, and it was kind of like that time that I had for myself, and it was so rewarding. But now I understand the importance of body recovery and how during sleep your body is really healing itself and building muscle and repairing itself, and this is going to keep your immune system at its best, and it really cognitively is super important. And for you to make great decisions for yourself, you really need to be in a wonderful headspace, right? So that leads me to my final one, which is meditation, which meditation totally changed my fucking life. I used to be that person that was absolutely in my head 100% of the time. My thoughts were going, they were 98% negative, beating myself up, beating other people up, creating realities that weren't realities. And meditation really changed my life with this. It was a practice for me because I hear you, girlfriend, boyfriend, when you tell me how hard it is and how your mind is going. This is why it's a practice. You need to understand this is another thing you do not need to be perfect at from the beginning. Just start your practice, because it took me a long time before I was able to have long gaps of silence. And that's okay. Everybody's meditation journey is different, but what this is really going to give you is a break from what you may not understand is going on, which is chaos in your head that's creating realities that aren't real or can be changed, which in turn creates stories that give you low self-confidence and, tell you don't have value and this is what you're worth and this is all I can get and those kind of things. So the meditation's really going to lead you into a place of understanding the things that you're saying to yourself. And I have a bonus. One thing that I would love for you to do every day is when you wake up in the morning and you go in that bathroom and you see yourself, I want you to say, I love you. I love everything about you. You are my best friend, and you've always been there for me. You keep showing up every day. You're here right now, and I really love you, and thank you for all you do for me. And those are some things that can get you through this time of feeling stuck and uncertain and feeling trapped in a situation that you don't know how to get out of. But let me tell you, once you start doing these things, you are going to feel empowered as fuck. And the more empowered you are, the clearer you are, the more you're going to see and realize that you are worthy of way more than this. And before you know it, you're going to find yourself out of this situation. So I'm Carol Lee. I'm a personal coach. If you need support in any of these areas, I'm your girl. Sometimes we just need that little oomph, that person to walk you through something that you kind of know that you need to do, but you're not capable of doing it by yourself. I'm going to empower you every step of the way. I want you to wake up each morning with a sense of purpose, fulfillment, understanding that you are the creator of your reality and you are capable of amazing fucking things. You have the strength, the resilience inside you, and you just need to tap into it. If you're wanting some one-on-one coaching, all you have to do is email info@coachcarollee.com to apply, and just tell me a little brief summary of your story and what makes you ready. What makes you ready to make these changes? Once you apply, I will take a look at your application and let you know if you qualify. I just want to thank you for checking out my YouTube video today. If you would go ahead and like and subscribe, it helps my channel, and I'd love to hear from you how any of these things help you, something you'd like to see, hear about. I'd be happy to make a video about it. But don't forget, I have my fitness videos on that I've been posting. It's really all about our mind, body, and soul, nourishing all areas of our life. But being compassionate with ourselves at the time and knowing we are where we are.